Welcome into the Set It Off Network. I am your host, Michael Sedetall. This is my guy, Will Volk, and we are previewing Week 11. Will, we are just rolling through these weeks, but
Season's
we,
flying by.
yeah, we just have a matchup, Will, that is near and dear to my heart. All right, not this matchup brings me a lot of pain, Will. But you know what, Will? The games that we don't expect much, all right, these are the games that, they end up being the best. All right, because when you go in there with low expectations, all right, you can't get hurt. All right. So we got LSU heading the road to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Will, we were there last time they were in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That famous 2023 LSU football team that was the worst defense in the history of college football against a very good Alabama team. But that was a relatively close game for a while there. LSU actually tends to play a lot better on the road in this series, which is kind of a weird dynamic that this series has always kind of had, where the home team has actually struggled more than the road team. So I guess that's technically in favor. And then we also have the unranked factor now. Um,
Yeah.
Glad to
hmm
see LSU took it upon themselves. They did sacrifice a lot, it feels like, to get to this point. Sacrifice a coach, sacrifice $53 million and a chance probably at the playoffs with their 5-3 record right now. But they managed to become unranked just in time for this football game. And we know Kalen DeBoer against ranked football teams is not a recipe for success for that team. All right. So, Will, obviously, joking aside, LSU feels like they're at their lowest point of the season right now. Alabama feels like they're at their highest point of the season, but this matchup only 10.5 points right now. How are you feeling about LSU and Alabama? Your first thoughts?
I'm feeling glad that I'm not an LSU fan because
Whoa.
it's been a rough time since Brian Kelly got let go. Ever since that A&M game, it's been rough times over in Louisiana, right? But you get to play football again, and a win would cure everything, right? Is Frank gonna come in there and really get this thing going? We were talking before the show. LSU might have a chance to make the playoff if they win out and you get enough chaos. They have chances to beat some good teams on the road at Alabama and Oklahoma. And we know Kalen DeBoer struggles against unranked teams. We saw it with South Carolina coming this close to beating them. Unfortunately, they didn't get the job done. But I think Alabama has largely owned LSU going back a long time, right? Except for a few wins here and there. Um, and I think it's going to happen again. I think 10.5 points is probably good. Crimson Tide are going to roll.
Thanks a lot, Will. Well,
You got any
anyways,
hope or optimism?
obviously, all right, because you know what, Will? All right, clip this right here for the TikTok. All right, we're going to start it right now. All right, first of all right, the week that LSU has had, Will, all right, you're looking at it and you're seeing a battered, bruised university, ego in shambles, state of Louisiana in shambles. You got dumb governor out here sticking his head right in the middle of this coaching search, ruining it for every good possible candidate, showing us all the cracks that are in the crevices at LSU right now. But you know what, Will? It won't matter. All right. Because you know what happens on Saturday, Will? Those boys over at Alabama strap their shoes on the same exact way LSU straps on their shoes. All right. And Big Frank, all right, Big Frank is coming in there, all right, and he's adding Alabama to the hit list. All right. And when LSU goes in there and dominates, well, I'm talking about they're going in there and they're going to dominate this football game.
Wow.
You are going to see a physical football team. All right, we're going back to our roots, old Franks from back in the day, back from the Les Miles day. All right, he bringing that physicality. LSU is going to run the football finally. All right, and it's going to look completely different. Will, all right, Alabama's over here preparing for this team. All right, they don't know what to prepare for because I don't even think LSU
That's
knows what to
true.
prepare for at
Yep.
this moment. Like, what is this team going to look like on Saturday? I have no clue. All I know is Frank Wilson, one of the most motivating presences in that locker room, is going to have that team ready to play football on Saturday night. All right. And when you get a Tiger, all right, pressed up against the wall, all right, even if it's an elephant, Will, They're going to find a way. All right. And it might not be pretty. All right. Do you remember the 2021 game, Will? You might
I do
not.
remember that.
All
Yeah.
right. But Ed O and company came in there in a very similar situation. All right. Already announced the coaching change. All right. Edo was finishing the season out, but that team played inspired football that night. And maybe a little bit of a lackadaisical performance from Alabama is what it's going to take on Saturday night. But I'm telling you right now, I don't think LSU is going to win this football game, but damn it, they're going to make it close. All right. And it's going to look different. All right. And if LSU were to find a way to somehow win this football game, Will, all right, 4% is what ESPN says LSU's playoff chances are. And how in the world could you have more chaos than a 9-3 LSU team making the college football playoff? Not only making it, Will, they were the first team in the BCS era to make it with 2 losses. Will they be the first of the college football playoff to win a national championship with 3 losses? Just saying,
Uh,
it could
yeah,
happen.
if that happens, the coaching search gets a lot easier because you're gonna make Frank the guy if he can somehow pull that off. But I don't know. It's a good question. What is this LSU football team going to be? We really don't know, right? Because I mean, they cleaned house. Not only Brian Kelly, but offensive coordinator's gone as well, right? So I
Hey,
don't know
look,
who's going to be calling the plays. What's going to happen?
we're just playing backyard football, man. We're
Mm,
just giving us a wristband and just telling them to go to work, man. You got all these plays to pick from. You just choose them. It's just like you're playing NCAA 25 or college football video game. Same thing. All right, just go out there and just run the plays. All right, and maybe they work, maybe they don't. But
yeah.
that's why we play the games, Will. All right, we don't play the games on paper. All right, and it's only 10.5. All right, 10.5 is not
Mm-hmm.
a lot for what LSU is going through right now. Plus the 3 point advantage you get for playing at home. All right, 3.5. 10.5 doesn't feel like a lot. Will. All right, so Vegas obviously thinks this game is going to be relatively close, and I'm telling you, Will, Alabama sucks against unranked teams,
They
and
do.
this was LSU's strategy the whole time. All right, and now they just got to go out there and execute the end of the plan. All
If
right,
it
because
works out, yeah, it's great because it feels like you need to be an unranked team to have a chance against Alabama. I will say something too. Florida was in a similar position. They fired Billy Napier into a bye week. LSU did the same thing. Look what Florida did against Georgia last week, right? They had a shot, a legit shot to win that game, and Georgia's an elite team as well. Could it happen? Maybe it could. Maybe. I still believe it when I see it. That's how I am.
Exactly. And we are going to see it. We're going to see it on Saturday. And you know what? We're going to also see, we're going to see you subscribe. All right. We're going to see you
Mm.
subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right. And then we're going to plan our exit strategy here by saying you need to be following us on all the socials because if this comes true, you best believe your socials are going to be flooded with me anyway. So you might as well just follow us anyway. All right. So go ahead and get it out of your mind. Go down in the comment of this video. Tell me how crazy I am. All right. And yes, we are pumping sunshine. We are doing the rainbows thing. All right. But until I'm proven wrong, Will, I can't be wrong. All right. And if I am wrong, it's only because coaches and players messed it up. So that
Yeah.
saying, subscribe to the channel. Do it for me. Do it for William. All right. We would love to see you back here. All right. So go ahead and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think. How you feeling about LSU? Are the vibes down? Or are the vibes up? And then you come back on Saturday night after they win, and then you answer that same question. All right. So we will see you guys next time. Appreciate. Keep an eye out for our playoff video coming out this week, and make sure you check out all of the rest of our game previews that we will be dropping throughout the next coming weeks of the college football season. And we will see you guys next time.